Hello everyone, just getting you set for this session that I'm going to share with you on goals. It's really my heart desire that this really helps you to move forward in your life. Goals are very crucial, goals are very important. In this session you'll be listening to, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 ways you can move forward in the area of goals. We don't just want to talk about them, we want to actually make them happen in our lives. Sometimes we do need some help. I'm hoping that these 7 ways I will talk about in this session will be helpful to you in bringing your goals to pass in your life. My desire through this video is to help you, as I've been helped by so many others, to really get a grip on these things we call goals so that we can move forward in life. The 7 most important areas in life I talked about in my last series. If you haven't seen that, check it out on Femi Diaries. The reason for it is to help you identify those areas of your life. And also now with the goals series is to now help you, now having identified those areas of life, going forward and now using the knowledge of goals to really begin to make some changes in those areas of your life. This is my desire for you. Now stay tuned as we go into goals, the second part of the series. Hello everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is called Femi Diaries. And today I'm going to be concluding on my series on goals. If you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, I will encourage you to do that. Also ring that notification bell, click it so that you can get subsequent updates on videos that I post. Today we're going to be concluding with this series I began called Goals. I'm going to be sharing with you 7 ways and 7 things you can do that will enable you and help you to accomplish your goals. Goals are very important in our lives, as we've seen in the last few videos that I have posted. And I'm today going to teach you or help you to understand 7 ways you can make your goals come to pass. The first one is going to be what I call the why question. Why do you want to accomplish this goal? Now, in an earlier series, I talked with us on 7 most important things in life. Most important things tells you that these are important areas of life. And I've encouraged us to set goals in those areas. Now, I'm asking, why do you want to accomplish this goal? Obviously, it's because it's important to you. If it's an important goal, if it's something that means a lot to you, then there's a tendency to definitely want to accomplish the goal. You know, there was a story of a lady I heard who was way overweight and had 2 children and had been told by the doctors that she had a very limited amount of time to live. Now, that got her into a state where she began to think about, if she were to pass, who was going to take care of her kids? Now, that became her why, that she did not want to die and leave her kids here unattended or with other people. And that got her into a program that she began to do to get her weight down. When we have a why for the things we are trying to do or accomplish, our goals, it helps us to bring those goals to pass. So my question today is, what is your why? If you have a why before you begin any kind of goal that you tend or want to achieve, that will help motivate you. It will help keep you on track. It will help you focus on the reason why you are doing the goal. The why question, very important towards the accomplishment of your goals. Now, the second thing is to start slow. Start with small goals. Many people are not used to lifestyle of accomplishing goals. So it's always advisable to begin with simple goals. For example, if you want to lose some weight, it will be very encouraging to you if you're able to begin maybe just by walking around the house first. Just begin something very simple. Now, if you can keep that going maybe 3, 4, 5 times a week, and you do that consistently, then you can move to the next phase or the next stage according to how you set the goal. Maybe to walk a mile down your street or down your road or down your estate. Small goals are encouraged for people who are not very familiar with setting goals, who have not really developed this skill. It's always encouraging, it's always motivational to people to begin slow, to begin with easy goals to accomplish. That will be my second point for you today. Start with simple goals. If you want to, for example, some people don't eat vegetables at all. Begin with certain vegetables, for example, in that example, and maybe 2 or 3 times a week partake of those vegetables. Now, as you do that, you can build and increase the frequency and kind of add to what you're already doing. It's always helpful to begin small, to begin with easy to accomplish goals. Now, the third way we can accomplish our goals is planning. They said if you don't plan, you are planning to fail. Planning becomes a very important tool in helping us to accomplish our goals. Now, the first thing I would advise you do when you talk about planning is to have what I call a to-do list. Now, we talked about different kind of goals and different categories of goals that day. If you were, for example, planning on a goal that you want to set within a year, which is like your short-term goal, having a to-do list of all the different things that need to be done to bring that goal to pass will be very helpful. Having a to-do list of all the different things that you want to do to bring that goal to pass. After you have the to-do list, the next thing you definitely want to do is to prioritize those steps. For example, you want to write a book. Now, you want to write a book within a year, for example. Now, how many chapters are you going to write in the book? How many chapters, for example? How many chapters? Who or what do you want to write about? And you keep going like that. Now, each one of these different points, you now can begin to pick them one at a time and decide which is the most important to start with. Now, after you have your to-do list, you want to have a priority of things to do. And then you want to do them on a daily basis. A daily routine will help to bring these steps to pass. These are like your action steps. Now, breaking it down by having a to-do list, by having all the things that are required to bring that goal to pass written down, and prioritizing each one of those things that need to be done, and then deciding which ones to start first and beginning on a routine on a daily basis will definitely help to move you in the direction of your goal. Your planning step is very crucial for you to have your goals come to pass. Now, the fourth thing we want to do is to have deadlines. For your goals to come to pass, it's very important that you set deadlines for yourself. Now, we just used the example of somebody who wants to write a book, and we talked about a person having a to-do list of all the steps or the things that are necessary to bring that goal to pass. We also talked about that same person being able to earmark what the priorities are, which ones have to be done first, and to have action steps to do those things on a daily basis. Now, after all that has been accomplished, deadline and timelines have to be set for each one of these steps. What needs to be done? How many pages need to be written within a week? Are we writing a whole chapter in a week? How many pages do we want to write how many pages in that chapter do we want to write? And after we determine that, then how many pages need to be written every day? This will help us to have the certain deadlines that we need to bring these goals to pass. That's why we're talking about deadlines. Setting deadlines is very crucial so that we can actually be on point and make the progress that we need with our goals. Now, the fifth one is what I call using positive imagination. Because we are very visual people, we need things that we can see to help us when we are trying to accomplish goals. I've heard of people who wanted to own homes, for example, and who had pictures of the home that they wanted in their house. Professional athletes who wanted to accomplish certain things, maybe win titles or become maybe like a heavyweight champion, like in boxing. And they had the pictures of those who had achieved those goals already. They had those pictures in front of them. Those things create focus. They help create a positive image and imagination that helps you in accomplishing those goals. When we have a focus and a positive imagination as we try to accomplish goals, everything begins to take shape to help us to move towards those goals and to their accomplishment. So positive imagination is a very important step to take towards achieving our goals. Now, the sixth one is going to be a process of reevaluation of everything we've done so far. We want to have certain times, maybe weekly, maybe monthly, to go over everything we talked about earlier and see how well we are doing. Do we need to make some changes? Do we need to tweak some things? Are there other things we can implement into our goal plan that will help us to actually bring those goals to pass? That's a very important thing to have time to do, to consider reevaluating what we are doing. Is it working? Are we moving forward in our goal? Are we getting closer to the goal? Are we still on point? Are our methods still applicable? Do we have a better way to go about trying to achieve that goal? These are things that we find out when we determine to reevaluate what we have done so far. Again, it's time scheduled. We have to schedule a time to reevaluate our process. The last point, or the last thing I want to share with us today, is what I've called vision helpers, or goal helpers, if we call it that. Goal helpers. There are certain people that will help us in the accomplishment of our goals, and we need to identify who those people are. Many times we cannot accomplish our goals by ourselves. You want to lose weight, for example, you might need a coach. You might need some buddies of yours who will help motivate you and keep you on track. When you share your goals with them, they can keep you accountable and help you to move in the direction of your goals. We need certain people who will help us as we try to accomplish goals in our lives. So we need to identify who those people are. And that's why we're talking about vision or goal helpers. Who are those people in your life that will be helpful to bring that goal to pass in your life? These are the questions, and these are the things that we definitely want to answer and find those who will help us. So we've talked about 7 ways we can bring our goals to pass. 7 things that we can do that will help us to get really close to or fulfilling our goals. We talked about the why question. We talked about having small goals. We talked about having plans. The 4th point was deadlines, setting deadlines. The 5th one was having those positive imaginations that help us even as we go. And we talked about the vision or the goal helpers also. These are all points that we can use in our lives to bring our goals to pass. I hope this was helpful to you today in trying to accomplish your goals. I will see you in the next one.